What is up, Wholesale community family? Today, I'm bringing you guys back with another subscriber first wholesale deal interview. But today, man, it's a big one. $100,000, all right? 100 G's profit from a wholesale deal driving for dollars, which means it probably cost them a very, very tiny bit of money to actually get this deal done. So you guys get your pen, get your paper ready. Henry and David's going to jump on. They're going to drop bomb. They're going to tell you exactly how they got their deal done. No sell pitch, straight up free, freaking just free value, man. So if you enjoy this video, please be sure to show your boy King Kong and my guest some love. Boom, smash that thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, welcome to the family. So be sure to boom, smash that subscribe button. But no further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Henry and Dave. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
It's Harry and David.
Harry and David.
yeah, Harry and David, dude. Yep. So, before we get into it, man, dude, how do you guys feel? $100,000, man.
Well, it's actually a little bit more than that.
Yeah, actually a little bit more.
Really?
So it was actually two deals into one, but yeah, all from the same seller.
Two deals into one.
Yep,
from the same seller.
Yep.
So, how much was each deal?
First deal was $50,000, and the second deal was $195,000.
What? Holy dude. Okay, so we might have to retitle this thing, man. We might have to retitle this thing, dude. That's over $200,000. Holy smokes. Mm-hmm. And so it came from one seller, all driving for dollars.
Driving for dollars.
Correct.
All right, guys. Dude, I'm gonna let you guys take over, man. Tell me what are you guys currently doing right now or before then, before you got into the whole real estate game, and how did you discover wholesaling, and why did you choose that path instead of like everything else, which is the fix and flip and all that?
Sure. Okay. For me, I started off in sales, whether it be from first it was furniture sales, and it's auto sales, and then into new construction, selling new construction homes. So it's always been sales, but wholesaling has been like this like God-given thing for us, for me especially, where it gave me the opportunity to spend a little bit more time with my family and build other opportunities, other businesses and things of that nature. So mainly sales is my background. Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Harry, but David, I think what you mentioned is key, dude. Anyone, if you guys have sales background, like you go into any business, I don't care if it's wholesaling or it's like I don't care what business, but you're gonna crush it. Like if you're into sales and you're good at it, dude, you should start your own business and become an entrepreneur. There's no reason why you should work for someone else. Period.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it just gave me the freedom that I that I needed in order to expand. So
love it, man. Harry.
Absolutely. I'm glad to have him as my partner because I'm not really that good at sales. So, but my background, I was jumping from job to job. I used to be a forklift operator in warehouses and things of that nature. Quickly realized that I don't want to work a 9 to 5. So wholesaling came about actually 2015, 16, but I was too scared at the time to jump into it. So I kept on working. I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give this wholesale a try, and I went full lane like around 2020, closed my first couple of deals, and I was just hooked ever since.
Love it, man. So Harry, when you say when you discover wholesaling and you were too scared to jump into it, and I think if you and maybe other people that are watching this can relate, but what was the fear? Like, what was it that's holding you back, man, back in 2015? Because if you started then,
not knowing. That's what it is. The fear of not knowing what's going to happen, or failure, pretty much. I was going to probably fail. I didn't want to fail. So,
no, bro, dude. I think Harry, you pretty much hit it right there, man. It's the unknown. It's like when you try something new, it's like it's the unknown that scares you. It's like, hey, what happened when I put a property in a contract and I can't find a buyer? Like, is the seller going to sue me? Or are they going to come after me? Like, what's going to happen? Like, I don't have the money to buy the property, because that was also one of my fear, man. And it took me a long time to get over that until somebody told me, listen, you put a property in a contract in the contract, you have what's called an inspection contingent, which means as a potential buyer, you have X amount of time, 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, whatever it is. And if you, in that time period, if you can't find a buyer, you can back out the deal, cancel the contract with the seller. They cannot come after and sue you because that's in the contract. All right. So, dude, when I realized that, dude, I would start putting Poppy on the contract. Boom, 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 boom. And if I can't close on them, I call back, I renegotiate, and I cancel. And then once you realize that, hey, dude, nothing happens. I put a property in the contract. I can't find a buyer. I cancel the contract. And, obviously, it just gives you more confidence, right? Because now you know that nothing bad will happen. But, yeah, dude, good point.
Yeah, the risk is very low. You're right.
Yeah, good point. So
keep going, Harry. Sorry, man. But just to piggyback on that, the risk is low. However, when the integrity comes in play, when you have that time frame, like, yeah, you may not have a lot of risk, but how much more business are you going to do if you don't succeed, Correct. If you don't follow through with that? Always having it, that's just one extra strategy, but always having different, extra strategy opportunities to help that person, because at the end of the day, it's not all about me or Harry, you know what I mean? So I think that's where a lot of our success comes from, and why we were able to close, both of those deals with that same seller.
Nice. 1,000%. I agree, man. I agree. So are you guys doing this full time, or are you guys still doing this part time?
Both full time entrepreneurs.
I mean, with 200 something G's, man, there's definitely not looking back.
No, there's no way. There's no way.
Okay, so now tell me how do you found the seller? How do you found the buyers? And basically just take us through the whole entire process, man. So someone can just copy and duplicate whatever it is, you guys' results.
So basically what happened is I came across this deal like a year ago. So it's like a year of follow-up in the making. So I'm constantly calling the seller like every month or 2 months that go by, I'm calling back. We'll have little small conversations, and then it finally got to the point where she was like, you know what, I'm ready to sell. And I was like, awesome. So, ran our numbers and come to find out, the first deal, she had a house, but she also had 3 acres of land behind the house that she wanted to sell as well. So that's how we came across that first one. And then after she seen that, we did good business with her, we closed fairly quickly. She was like, you know what, I got 3 more acres of land that I want to sell as well. Are y'all interested?
And that happened to be commercial, your residential land that we sold. As far as finding the buyers, it really stemmed from the connections that I made from being in the real estate business, and the different players that I came across. We contacted actually a real estate agent, local real estate agent, to make that happen, who happened to be a big time investor in the area. And then the second one, man, that we really kind of stepped into that, not really knowing what we were doing as far as like the commercial land, right. But hey, if you don't take the shot, you're not, you know what I mean? You can't. Yeah. So yeah, what I did was, I started going up and down that particular street, where there's a lot of businesses that, operate on that same street. So I just went into the stores and basically talked to the owner and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what this is what we have. And try to see if any of them were interested, along with, having a sign, in the yard saying, hey, I'm selling my interest in this property. And, within maybe like a week, 2 weeks, it was done. So now what I want to know here is, so the first deal that you guys made 50 G's on was a house on 3 acres. And this came, so Harry, you mentioned this came from a 1 year follow-up? 1 year follow-up. House plus 3 acres. So it's like almost 4 acres. Okay. So it's a house plus 4. So this came from follow-up. Yep. Drawing for dollars. Yep. Drawing for dollars, 1 year follow-ups. And for those of you who don't know, like around 60 to 70% of your deals is going to come from follow-up. So if you guys don't have a good follow-up systems,
dude, you're missing out on a bunch of opportunities. When I first started, man, I didn't have follow-up systems, right? Everybody I talked to that said no. I was like, okay, next. But dude, you know, it could be 60 days later, 90 days later, 6 months later. For Harry, it's 1 year later, baby. And that 1 year turned to a 50K deal, dude.
But the beautiful part about it is all throughout that time, we're still working. We're still closing deals.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, when that closes, it's just like.
Absolutely, man. Okay, so the house the lady calls, what's the ARV on that property?
What was the ARV on that? I believe it was around 400,
give or take.
Yeah, 425.
Okay, now I want to know is when did you guys close this deal?
You said when?
Yeah, when?
What was this? Maybe 3 months ago, 2.5 months ago.
Almost April, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one.
Okay. So the ARV is 400,000. What's the rehab?
You need about 80,000 in rehab.
Okay, 80K in rehab, and
60
now
to 80. Yeah.
Okay, 60. Okay, so 60 to 80K for the rehab. So the ARV,
Yeah.
and you got under contract for how much?
What was the contract price?
Oh my goodness.
I know there was so many ago.
That's terrible.
There's just so many deals.
No. Oh my gosh.
It had to be like around 3 something.
Let me be honest with you, Khang. I cannot remember what we even, what we sold it for, but we can get those.
We can get those. I can definitely get those numbers for you guys.
Okay.
Oh,
so now let me ask you, you guys have a good CRM?
No, we do everything by hand.
Everything by hand.
Oh man, aren't you guys glad that aren't you guys glad that you're on here, man? So check this out. So Podio is completely free. Okay? Podio is free. It's podio.com, dude. That's where you keep track of your seller leads and your buyer's leads. Now, if you want to amp it up and take it to the next level, and this is going to cost you some money, but it's cheap. It's penny, it's on the dollars. Just to make sure you guys have everything organized so you don't lose track. Dude, I was once there, man. I got stacked a pile of paper just right. Dude, it's just not the way to do it if you guys are going to grow and scale your business and take it to the next level, which this is like the time to do it because now you guys got a capital. You guys are probably going to start spending on, massive amount of marketing and hire employee. It's nice to have everything just online where you can track everything. So podio.com is free. The other one is Investor Fuse that I use as well. Yep, investorfuse.com/WTM. You can sign up with them or just hit me up, man. Dude, just text me at 1-206-208-0676, dude. I'll link you up with Carlos, and he'll get your whole entire CRM set up to freaking rock star.
Yeah,
okay?
I mean, that's where we're at right now, man. We're just trying to, now that's why we can't remember the numbers because we don't have everything, situated. We know how to do the business, and we knew what makes sense at that time, but it's like on to the next. But now it's like we're trying to build, we're trying we're working on our VAs literally now, tomorrow VAs are starting, so we're trying to scale at this point and, bring the business to big time like you guys. Yeah.
Dude, no, I mean everything you get to say and mention, man, I was once there. Same thing. Everything was on paper, dude. I like everything. I got stacks and stack of notebooks when it, and same with you guys, it's like as we go along, then we, you figure out the next thing and the next thing. So I'm telling you guys, that's the next thing that you guys need. And then when you hire on your VA, I think it's best you need to get your CRM, your system set up, because that's where you're going to be able to track your VA because they can go on there. You'll be able to record their phone call. Okay, here's my next question, dude. Now this turned into a consultant call, man.
Appreciate it.
So
thank you.
yeah, absolutely, man. Because I really want to get you guys taking off on the right foot, man. Because if you don't have your systems, your process dial in, and once you start to send out massive marketing, you start to grow, dude, it will get out of control. get out of control, because now you got to stop everything, or not stop, but slow everything down, because you got to put system and team in play, right? System, process, and everything, dude. All of those takes time. So to me, before you start hiring, right? But you guys already did that, which is fine. But now you guys need to really start putting these systems together to track your employee and their progress as well. So the next thing that you guys don't have to CRM, you set that up. You have a dialer for your VAs that you can have them record. You got that?
We're going to have one. Yes.
Okay.
Tomorrow, yeah, that starts.
So what dialer are you guys using to record all these calls?
I believe it's called Zen. It's like
Zen?
X,
Yep. Okay.
Zen. Yeah.
Okay.
Use that.
Yep. That work as well. So make sure your VA, tell them that they need to record their phone call. And here's the mistake that I made, dude, that cost me a ton of money, man. And I don't want to see you guys make this mistake. Is you need to audit their call. It's not like you train them and then you just trust them to go and just pound the phone and call and not check on them. Like, you got to take out random calls and audit all of their calls. And then eventually you need to hire a VA to audit all the phone call of all the VAs. Because I'm telling you, if you don't do that, dude, like, we have made it where our because they have good days and bad days, right? Sometimes they got on the phone, they're not supposed to do what they do, or maybe when they just don't know how to talk and negotiate like you do, because they're so fresh into the game. And if you just hire and just let them go off and start doing their own thing, dude, they're gonna let a lot of deals go through the crack. So now, before that, so now we have a team of 7 VA, and I have 1 VA that audit all of their phone calls, from the purchase manager to the lead manager to the transactional coordinator.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, dude, that's so important. Like, they cost $4 to $5. People are like, oh, VA are cheap. I'm just gonna hire a bunch of them, run my business. They are cheap, but they're not. They're also very expensive because they cost you opportunity costs. So,
yeah, I seen your most recent video. You actually were talking about that with Jerry.
Yeah. So, All right, dude. So now, so you got that. Now, how did you found the buyer for this deal?
How you found the buyer?
Oh, yeah. So for the big one, right? Yeah. So literally, first, in our agreement, I have on there that, we can put a sign out in the yard for potential renters or, people that may be interested in buying the property, maybe once we're done rehabbing it or whatever, depending on our exit strategy. So I put a sign out, and then also I went down that street and connected with all of the business owners that were there to see who may be interested in expanding, because it's in an area where the real estate is desired, heavily desired. So, that's pretty much, how we got the deal. We got a phone call, from someone who was interested, and they gave us an offer, and we were like, okay, that works. And that was pretty much it. That was all she wrote.
Wow. So that's how you guys found the buyer. Did the buyer did inspections, or was it sight unseen?
No, it was it's very minimal inspections. I think we had maybe like 10 days left on the inspection. And they just wanted to make sure that it was going to work for their company. And once they figured that out, it was a go. We set up settlement, and we closed in a matter of weeks.
That's it.
That was it.
It's really that simple.
Wait,
that contract, I kind of remember that. I think that was like $325, and we sold it for like
$520. Yeah, $525.
$525.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're talking about the vacant. So we're talking about the vacant land.
Yep.
Which is the $195K deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got it, dude. So, man, Harry and David, for the people that are starting out, man, now that you guys have gone through, now, beside these 2 deals, how many deals have you guys closed already?
Man,
too many to remember?
No, I won't say too many to remember. I would say at least together
together.
Yep.
We probably, I'll probably want to say probably like 4 or 5.
4 or 5 together.
Yep.
Nice.
I've done a little more
Yeah.
on my own.
Yep.
But yeah.
So what is the smallest deal?
5 grand.
$5 grand.
Mhm.
And that's coming from a single family.
Yep.
Right.
Okay. So, hey, now what market are you guys in?
Delaware.
Delaware. Okay. So what is house prices around there go for?
Wow. So it's now it's changed, but I would say in the 3.5, 400.
It really depends on what area. Like if you go
Not bad.
more to like the city area, it ranges. So
yeah.
And how competitive is your guys' market?
I'll say it's pretty fair.
Yeah.
I say it's fair. It's not like Houston and nothing like that, or Atlanta, stuff like those type markets, but it's pretty fair.
Yeah, it's definitely a fair market. I mean, we're closer to Philadelphia, New York. We're in the tri-state area, so it's competitive, but definitely not like the major cities. So this can be done whether you're in like a major competitive area or a small town, type of rural area.
Gotcha. And what type of marketing are you guys currently using right now?
Very
Is it
little.
just driving for dollars?
Yeah, very
That
little.
and prop stream.
That and prop stream. Yeah, very little marketing.
Yep.
Really just word of mouth and like I said, the connections. The relationships that that we've built along the way is really where it's at. Just letting people know what we do, and just staying humble and kind of low key and that's kind of where we're at right now. But that's changing.
Gotcha. Now, you guys drive for dollars. Do you guys use deal machines when you drive for dollars?
No.
Oh my God. Okay. So, man. So no. And hey, dude, I'm laughing with you guys because I respect the hustle. When I first started, dude, it was no system, no program. It was just like, hey, drive around, knock on doors, right? Put flyers on the doors, talk to the neighbors, and all of that. But for those of you, if you're going to do driving for dollars, it's going to make your life a lot easier. And try this. Go to dealmachine.com/WTM. They'll give you a $40 credit, just a kickstart. And I think you also get like a 7 or 14 days trial with them. But it just makes your driving for dollar experience a lot easier. You'll be able to, like, if you see a property, like you punch it into their deal machine app, one click of a button, boom, it'll show you the entire property, how much the seller owes, how much they pay for it, everything. Just right there at your fingertip and track all your routes, and you can actually drive for dollar virtually as well. So it's just from the comfort of your own home for those of you who's interested. Now, let's talk about prop streams. When you said you pull a list, what list do you guys pull?
A couple of them: pre-foreclosures, vacant properties.
Okay.
Yep. High equity.
Tired landlords.
Now, do you guys target the whole entire states or is it city?
Entire state.
Got it. Okay. And typically, how big of a list do you guys get? Do you know?
The biggest list was 7,000?
Yeah.
7,000. Typically, we don't work off of that type of list. Typically, it's like what 30 to 60.
Yeah, it's usually a lot smaller because we're actually ones doing it. So it'll be like between 100 to 300 at the most.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. And you guys would pound the phone and cold call them?
Yep.
Got it. So those are your two methods, right? You guys drive for dollars, you pull a list from prop streams, and you do cold call.
That's correct.
Right? Got it. Okay. So for those that are just, for those that are starting out, what are you guys' tips or advice to them starting from ground zero? Like, what's the best route for them to get the quickest results in the quickest amount of time?
I would say being consistent. Just flat out answer this: be consistent. Driving for dollars. If your budget is pretty low, definitely I recommend driving for dollars. Also, get prop stream, get a list, high equity or tired landlords. Export the list, go ahead and start calling it. At least call 4 hours a day, every single day. You're going to find a deal. It's a numbers game.
And take action. take action. Like, just go for it. Be confident. Know what you're trying to do. Seek knowledge. Pay attention to those in the game that are doing it like yourself. And just take action. Just go for it. You know what I mean? Don't hesitate. Just make it happen, because that's really all we do is just just make it happen. As you can see, we don't have everything all together, but one thing that we do have is grind. We definitely have hustle.
I love it. I love it, man. So for those of you listen, if you haven't used prop streams, you can go check them out right here. You get a 7 days free trial with them. I'll also leave the link in the descriptions. But go pull a list with what Harry and David just share with you, and just pound the phone and be consistent. All right. Now here's the next questions. How long did it took you guys to do your first deal? Because you guys mentioned about grind and consistency. How long did it took you?
Well, for me, it took me roughly about, I'll say 4 to 6 months. I forgot exactly, but it was definitely around 4 to 6 months. And it was all off of YouTube University. So every time I had a question about something, I go straight to YouTube. Listen, I was watching your content, watching Jerry Norton content.
Love it.
And you guys really helped me out, to be honest.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. So 4 to 6 months of consistency, and you're saying you're putting about 4 hours a day for 4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyone else that comments and said, "Hey, Khang, I tried it out for 30 days," all I gotta say is, and say it doesn't work, and say it doesn't work. That's what I gotta say to you, man. I mean, like, you guys don't understand. For me, it took me 6 months to get my first deal, and I'm telling you, man, I grind like a maniac, just like you guys. I was driving for dollars on the weekend, looking for vacant houses, from 9 p.m. until midnight, until 1 o'clock in the morning. I was handwriting letters to expired listing, man, and I did that for like a year. Basically I'm doing whatever is like the cheapest way possible. And just like you guys, at the time, I didn't have the system, the program, I didn't have anything like that. And at that time, there was no prop streams, there was no deal machines, none of that. All right. And now I think with so many resources, and people are still, making excuses and saying, "Hey, Khang, I can't get that money." And I said, "Come on." Okay. So Harry and David, man, how can people connect with you, man?
The easiest way you can connect with me is on Instagram, blood_Hayrock, HAYROCK, and also on Facebook, Harry Bloodsworth.
Got it?
Yeah, for me, Instagram, Royal Beeline Grind. That's Royal Beeline Grind on Instagram. And then Facebook, of course, that's David Hilliard on Facebook. Yeah.
Love it, man. Now, for those of you listen, my whole thing is about, staying consistency and committed. But I believe that if you actually put in the work and actually lock in and focus, and if you're doing what Harry's saying, you pound on the phone 3 to 4 hours a day, and within 12 months, dude, like if you put in a year commitment and you're actually putting in the work and you cannot get a deal, I'm telling you, man, like it's probably time to like actually get a partner that actually will call and talk for you, like, because there's something wrong. You're doing something wrong. All right. So for me, a lot of time people say don't give up, but I think that you need to adjust your plan, man. I mean, maybe this is not for you.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm saying, yeah. So honestly, like, to me, what I believe, 99% of your guys' problem, like, cannot get a deal done, is because you don't have the skill set to get on the phone, talk, negotiate, and lock property under contract. That's like, that was my problem when I first started. It took me 6 months. I didn't know what to say, because how can you sell someone something when you know nothing about, like you just don't know how to sell them your service or your products? You like, does that make sense? Like, a lot of you get on the phone and you're just winging it. You're trying to get lucky. But especially in this market, it's like extremely competitive. Like getting lucky should not be the strategy. The strategy should be like working on your skill set. So I believe like 99% of you, if you have honestly, like knowing what I know now, man, I think within 3 months, if you're consistently calling 2 to 3 hours a day, cold calling or sending out text message or doing some kind of a marketing, and you're getting leads coming in, and you cannot put a prop in a contract and actually close a deal within 3 months, I am so confident that your talking skill, your negotiating skill is just horrible. If you have sales skills, 30 days. Honestly, like if you have sales skills background, dude, and if you just cold call or like you get on the phone and talking to people, 30 days. I think you can get a deal in the contract within 30 days, get that deal sold. Easy. Like I truly believe that. And
especially
a lot of you, motivation there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're having trouble, like you don't know what to say, like how to talk and negotiate and maneuver through, just check out some of my Friday Live cold call role play. For those of you who's watching this, dude, I promise you, like it'll help you out a ton. So anyways, so David and Harry, man, what are some last thing that you want to say to the viewer, man? Anything you want to say?
Well, I would say, focus on, let the pride go. You know what I mean? You see, it's two of us here. You know what I mean? We work together. He has his strengths. I have my strengths. We have our weaknesses. But we come together and we make it happen. So don't be afraid to find somebody, that can, that's willing to do the work with you and just go out there and make it happen. There's too much what money out here.
There's
you know what I mean? There's too much money out here.
Awesome.
And Harry, do you have anything to say, man?
Pretty much just piggyback off what Dave just said, just go out there and get this money. I mean, there's plenty of opportunities out here. All you have to do is just find a motivated seller, that's all it is. And this market is constantly changing, keep on sticking out to like people like this, such as yourself, with your great content that you put out. You're always giving out good tips. So if you're not trying to learn more, then, that's why 9 times out of 10, that's why you're probably stuck. So seek content and get that knowledge,
Get that knowledge. Hey, so before I let you guys go, man, there's something I do want to ask you guys. I've seen a lot of people making excuses because of my nationalities, because of my color, because of this, because of that. I was born, my sister, like, what do you guys got to say about that? Because listen, man, I'm going to be straight out. Dude, in this wholesaling, I've seen a lot of black people make a boatload of money doing this, man. But so I'm getting people like different skin color, different background that DM me and say, hey, Khang, because of this racist, like, what do you guys got to say about that, man?
Man, spirit has no color. It has no race. It has nothing. It has none of that. You know what I mean? And you show up to do the job. You have integrity. You treat everybody the way you want to be treated. You can't control how that person feels. But the one thing you can do is control how you operate. And really, we don't operate in that mentality. It's one of those things where money only has one color to me.
Bro, I was waiting for you to say that.
Right on the nose.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. You guys, dude, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for taking time to jump on to do this interview and to give it back to the people, man. I really appreciate it. Hopefully that we continue to stay connected. If you guys need, before I let you guys go, for those of you, if you need a wholesaling contract, so my contract typically, I have all the way until the day of closing to actually back out of the deal. Now, listen, when you get my when you guys get my contract, so that's why I have never, like, so far, I've been using the same contract for the past 10 years. It gives me all the way until the day of closing to like, hey, you know what? Because there are buyers that's on the closing day that say, hey, you know what? For whatever reason, we have buyers that's like just back out on the closing day because of their partners doesn't want to move forward or whatever the reason happens, right? It allow us to actually back out of the deal as well. So for those of you, if you need a contract, here's what I want you to do. Just email me. I'll hook you up for free. I got the purchase and sell contract, the assignment of contract, the double closing contract. And I also do a video showing you exactly how to fill the contract out as well. For those of you like new into the game, go to WTM, just email me, WTMfam@gmail.com. Just say free contract and I'll hook you up. Harry, David, Thank you so much for you guys' time. Until next time, take care,
Thank you,
man.
bro. Appreciate it.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep, absolutely.